Wayne Rooney has revealed he used to enjoy getting into fights as a teenager, and would even expect them while attending music gigs. Speaking in his Amazing Prime documentary, the footballer, 36, confesses that he wasn't the nicest kid after being taught he had to fight to survive while growing up on a council estate. Wayne, who admits he got his jaw broken during a fight in Manchester when he was just 13, also reveals that he still seeks help from his late Nan Mavis, after she passed away in 2002 shortly before his Premier League debut. In the documentary, which is set for release on Friday, Wayne says, "I wasn't the nicest kid at that age. Just things I did which were wrong. I think I had a lot of fights when I was younger. Obviously sometimes you got it and it is not nice, but I used to get some kind of enjoyment out of it. I used to go to a lot of concerts. Travis concerts, Stereophonies, Cast. There was normally a lot of fighting at the end of it. I remember I got my jaw snapped in Manchester. I was about 13. Having spoken openly about his struggles, including secret 2-day drinking binges at the height of his football fame, Wayne also reveals that at his lowest moments he still seeks guidance from his late Nan. Mavis died in 2002, shortly before Wayne made his Premier League debut at Everton. He reveals, "My Nan's buried right next to Goodison Park. She would have loved to see me plat. She would have been the proudest woman. It is probably more moments when I am a bit low I think of my Nan. Still, to this day, I still speak to her. It's more like a prayer really. I don't know, it is just something I always feel I have that protection with my Nan, so certainly when I am more vulnerable and a bit low, she is the one who seems to still help me." A visibly emotional Wayne adds, "It's a release for me in terms of I know when I am speaking to her. I know things will be okay. It's just helped me get through those bad moments." In the documentary, Wayne's wife Colleen also speaks about her husband's drinking and cheating for the first time. Colleen, 35, is seen speaking honestly about the issues they have faced in their marriage, including Wayne's notorious brothel visits and escort scandal. Wayne's wife of 14 years insists in the film that I wouldn't be standing here if I hadn't forgiven him, as she reflects on their 20-year relationship from teenagers to parents of 4. The documentary looks back on Wayne's life from his council estate upbringing in the Liverpool district of Croxteth through to the soaring heights of his football career, and throughout it all, his relationship with Colleen, who first met at the age of 12. Speaking about their teenage romance, Wayne says in the documentary, "I think when I was about 11 or 12 I knew that I wanted to marry her, and I said that to her at the time. I said when we grow up we're going to get married and you're going to have our kids. She was looking at me like, yeah, good one." Colleen agrees, admitting of her husband, "Has a charmer, growing up that's how he won me over. The more I said no, the more he said I will one day get that date. I always remember he used to hang around by where I lived and every now and again you'd get his mum shouting up and down the street, 'Wayne.'" Wayne's charm came in the form of poems, one of which had the title Wiggle Wiggle, and which Colleen has kept to this day, telling the camera they're very romantic, "You can tell he loves me." Wayne and Colleen began dating aged 16 and went on to marry in a lavish ceremony in Portofino in 2008. They are now parents to 4 sons, K, 12, Clay, 8, hit 6, and Cass 3. Later in the Prime Video film, Colleen is seen looking back at the events of 2004 when reports of Wayne's brothel visits and his infamous romp with 3 prostitutes first emerged in the press. Reflecting on the difficult time, Colleen concedes, "The first time, we were young, so there was a lot of arguing." Admitting she didn't approve of the company Wayne was keeping, Colleen insists, "I knew groups that Wayne was hanging around with that weren't good for him. Lovely people but together, with alcohol, not good, and I told him that from day one. I didn't want him to stop being friends with them, but I didn't want him to go out with them because they got in bad situations. Alcohol is a lot to blame and still is, up to this day with things that has happened recently. It's not a good thing for Wayne to be unsupervised." Wayne is also seen discussing the period, admitting, "I put myself in the wrong place, and when you're in the wrong place and there's alcohol involved, you're gonna make bad decisions and you're going to have to suffer and deal with the consequences. That's what happened. It doesn't take away any of my love for Colleen, it happened. It was a wrong decision to make, I held my hands up and we worked through it." Colleen says she relied on the support of her family and her own instincts to help her through, pointing out, "When you're making those decisions, you've got to focus on what you want and not other people, because you have so many people saying different things to you." Oh, why is she getting back with him? "Obviously I listen to the people that matter to me. My mom and dad always give me a positive outlook on things. There's nothing that we can't deal with, and that's my way in a situation. Let's sit down and see what we can do, and can we make it work? And we have. We're not the lovey-dovey type anyway, we like to have a laugh and we work well together." She adds that there is some element of truth to the idea that they stayed together for their 4 boys, explaining, "That was part of it, but also we still love each other." Hopefully has learned and he doesn't get himself into any of those horrible situations again. "But it's happened and I've got to live with it. If I couldn't cope with living with it, I would have ended the relationship." She later adds when asked if she had forgiven her husband, "Life goes on and I've moved on." You've moved on. Not the behavior, no. It's not acceptable. Forgiveness, I'd say, is different. It's not acceptable what has done, but it's happened, and that was a stage of life that we were in at the time. But we've moved on. I forgive him, but it wasn't acceptable. If it comes up, we talk about it like we are talking about it now. I haven't got the anger I did at the time." She added, "I do think it's amazing that we are where we are today. We're lucky that we both had the strength and support of each other and the people around us to keep going. That's something we've had to work hard at. I wouldn't be standing here if I hadn't forgiven him." While Wayne says, "It's important that teammates, friends, family remember me for who I am rather than what I've done. Stuff that has happened in the past, with girls for instance. Stuff I regret. It's something I feel that has stuck against my name. I think it's important because it is part of what has happened with my life growing up. People still see that and look at me in a different way. I'm not that type of person." In a recent soul-bearing interview with Oliver Holt, the Mail on Sunday's chief sports writer, ahead of the documentary's release, Wayne opened up on his self-binges with alcohol and the effects it had on his wife. Wayne explained that the pressures of going from a council estate upbringing to fame and fortune from the age of 16, when he made his professional debut for Everton, led to what he calls explosions. "I used to hold almost everything in and keep it to myself, and it would build up. I would say fuck it and go out and make silly mistakes with the explosion," he said. "I learned that when I felt that coming, I needed to sit down and talk to someone. That calmed things down. I spoke to Colleen quite a few times, her mum and dad and my mum and dad," adding, "I was trying to figure out how to deal with it by myself." Speaking about the documentary, Wayne said he wanted people to see every side of him. "There have been mistakes in the past, which I have always held my hands up to. It was tough for me to do it and for Colleen to do it. When tough moments have come up, we have sat down and spoke about them and figured out how we are going to get through it." Alluding to the scandals that previously engulfed him, including partying and other women, Wayne admitted of his wife, "The first thing you see is her forgiving some of the stuff I've done, but then we have always sat down and been open about it and figured out what is best for us as a family, and we have taken that into the film." Their relationship has been marred with various cheating scandals, with the footballer making national headlines when he was found to have visited 3 prostitutes as a teenager. In 2004, after Wayne, then aged 18, moved to Manchester United, it was discovered that the teenager paid £140 for sex with prostitute Charlotte Glover, 21. It was also claimed that at a brothel in Liverpool he slept with Gina McCarrick, then 37, and grandmother Patricia Tierney, then 48, who wore a rubber catsuit and was known as the Old Slapper. Devastated, Colleen stood by her man but didn't comment publicly on the claims, though later admitted that when the scandal came out she hadn't yet slept with Wayne herself. The pair worked through their troubles and wed 4 years later, though their newlywed bliss was short-lived, as it emerged in 2010 that the footballer had slept with 2 more prostitutes. Wayne was found to be having secret hotel sessions with £1,000 a night prostitute Jenny Thompson and fellow call girl Helen Wood while Colleen was pregnant with their first son, Kai. Their last meeting was in October 2009, a month before Colleen gave birth. In 2017, Wayne was alleged to have enjoyed a kiss and cuddle with another woman before being arrested for drink driving while Colleen was pregnant with their 4th child. The footballer was charged with drink driving after being caught behind the wheel of a VW Beetle belonging to a woman he picked up after a 10-hour drinking session while his pregnant wife and 3 sons were on holiday. Lettings agent worker Laura Simpson, 29, said the pair had kissed and cuddled and she would have ST'd him if he had not been pulled over by the police. Colleen then flew back from Spain with their children and wrote a candid Facebook post about the scandal. She penned, "Before all the stories begin, yes, I have put my wedding ring on. A lot of people will be saying you don't have to explain yourself, don't feel like you have to do this, etc. I know I don't, but I am and I want to. It didn't feel right wearing my ring, I see it as a sign of commitment and I was unsure what was happening. I don't always wear my ring day to day, especially when I go to the gym." Insisting she is a strong person and doesn't need people to feel sorry for her, Colleen set the record straight once and for all about her marriage. She continued, "A few people are probably thinking I'm stupid for staying in my marriage. I am not stupid, I know my own mind and it's something I want to try and work on." Before the headlines start. No, I'm not taking Wayne back as Hess never left. Yes, it has been a st time, and yes, time was spent apart and I thought my marriage might have been at an end. I'm not going to list Wayne's good qualities as a person as I don't think he deserves it at this time, but one thing is that he is a brilliant dad. Has made silly and selfish mistakes, some has learned from, some obviously not. However, maybe that will change? In life, you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. Referencing the night of Wayne's arrest for drink driving, Colleen appeared to blame the influence of alcohol for his behavior. She wrote, "One thing I do know is that too much alcohol on a night out is a dangerous and a lot of stupid mistakes are made and things are said under the influence. I would never trust anyone who has had a lot of alcohol, it changes some people drastically." Colleen also hit back at fan speculation she was staying with Wayne for his money, insisting that love and family is what is keeping them together. She penned, "It's my decision. Do I love Wayne? Yes, I do. If I didn't, then I wouldn't be trying to make it work. I know I would be fine on my own, with just me and my children, but I don't want to live like that. I want to try and continue our marriage and live as a family, because that's what I want to do. I'm not saying everything is fine and forgotten about, but we are as good as can be at this point. I'm not the type of person to put a show on and say we're all loved up. I'm just real." Colleen's emotional Facebook post was met with an overwhelmingly positive response from her fans, who wished her luck and praised her for her brave decision. The family then moved to the States, but Wayne was embroiled in another scandal in 2019, with reports that their marriage was hanging by a thread after Wayne was spotted drinking with barmaid Vicky Rosiak until 2:30 a.m. The January incident came just weeks after he was arrested for being drunk at an airport in Washington, D.C. Fast forward to the summer, and Wayne was embroiled in another cheating scandal in August after he was pictured at 5:30 a.m. in a Vancouver hotel with a mystery woman following a night out with his DC United teammates. Wayne insisted that nothing untoward had happened, however, tweeting, "Nothing happened between me and any girl on that night in Vancouver. I did not enter the lift alone with the girl pictured in the hotel foyer. The girl pictured in the club was simply one of many who innocently asked for autographs and pictures." Wayne then hit headlines once again this year after pictures emerged of the star partying and falling asleep in a hotel room with young women. The married father of 4 later admitted he made a mistake and apologized to his family and Derby County after he paid the 3 party girls £1 to buy the copyright to the images after accusing them of blackmail, prompting them to offer an apology. Wayne told Sky Sports News after he managed Derby to a friendly victory over Real Betis on Wednesday, "I made a mistake. I went to a private party with 2 of my friends and from me, I'd like to apologize to my family and the club for the images which were going round and I want to move forward on this. I'm grateful to Derby County for giving me this opportunity to get this club back to where it belongs, and I'll do everything in my power to make sure I do that. It's dealt with. I'm looking forward to moving forward and preparing for another game."